The Rolex Farr 40 World Championship. 25 identical boats going head-to-head at the Stadium of Sailing, Porto Cervo, Sardinia. The best professional tacticians in the world teamed up with amateur owner-drivers. Vasco Vascotto, the fiery Italian on board Nerone. They won here in 2003. Terry Hutchinson, Vascotto's nemesis, he took the world title off the Italians. And Vincenzo Onorato, 3 times and reigning world champion. And for the first time ever, 3 teams have made the 16,000-kilometre trip from Australia to take on the best from North America and Europe. No! 10 races over 4 days, each consisting of 2 laps over a windward-leeward course. With a one-design fleet, the difference between winning and losing is more about teamwork and tactics than machinery. And the combination of professionals and amateurs on board can make for an explosive mix. Every single race counts towards the championship, so no boat can afford anything less than a consistent and faultless performance. It's the day before the Worlds begin, and sail measurement is underway.
Right here. Okay.
The strict rules of one design racing mean that before the boats hit the water, all sails have to be measured and weighed to make sure they're within the tightest of rules to prevent any team having an unfair advantage.
Is the mainsail okay?
Right now, it's Estate Master from Sydney, Australia's turn.
2 more measures to go.
Malcolm Page is an Olympic gold medalist and trimmer on the boat, and it's his job to make sure the team are race legal.
Does it have a year on it? No.
The sail was built in 1 year, and we had it buttoned in another year, so it was just I suppose, seeing if there's anything funny going on, but no, it was all okay.
Lisa and Martin Hill are the husband and wife team who own Estate Master. They made the top half of the fleet at last year's Worlds, and this year they're daring to hope for even better.
I've got to pinch myself sometimes to think that I'm actually here with these Olympic guys and doing a job, and they're depending on me, it's surreal sometimes. I've really sort of got to get my head around it. I'm so excited to be here.
I don't want it to be a scramble. I want it to be in sort of regatta tempo, you know.
Andrew Palfrey, nicknamed Dog, represented Australia in the star class in the last Olympics and is now coaching Transfusion, the current Australian Farr 40 champs.
And working on when the turn starts, working on a smooth flow rate of turn, you know, and with your own feelings, you know, with Guido getting the boat going, let's trust that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good course, away a little.
Calling tactics on Transfusion is Tom Slingsby, the 24-year-old laser world champion. It's his job to make sure owner-driver Guido Belgiano Nettis is on the fastest part of the race course. Guido has only been sailing the Farr 40 for 2 years, but already his team are the top boat from down under.
That was the first one we've done like that, and it was a lot better.
The evening before the Worlds begin, and in typical Aussie fashion, Estate Master owner Martin Hill has invited the other 2 teams from down under, Transfusion and Kokomo, to his villa overlooking the race village. While no one expects any of them to win the title, they're determined to put on a good show and give their European and American rivals a scare.
You know, thanks to Doggy and everyone, I think, you know, we've prepared ourselves the best we can, and I guess now we see how we compare it to the world. So good luck to everyone.
The World Championship has begun. 4 days of intense competition in one of the closest fleets in racing. Estate Master debuted in last year's World Champs in Miami, and they've come to Europe for the first time, hoping to finally break into the elite top 10. Transfusion have never sailed in the World Championships before, but they're taking the fight to the favourites, leading to the windward mark and putting themselves in the best possible position. They're off to a perfect start. With former world champion Barking Mad and tactician Terry Hutchinson hot on their heels on number 15, they're already proving they can live with the best in the sport. It's a dream debut for the first-timers.
3, 2, 1, you there?
His Royal Highness Crown Prince Frederick of Denmark, driving Nanook, is keeping a narrow lead over Estate Master. Heading downwind, Transfusion lead the fleet away.
KG, probably an early charge.
Estate Master are mixing it with the big boys too. A year ago in Miami, they managed 16th, one place behind fellow Australians Kokomo. In the opening race, they're up to 8th place. Owner Martin Hill and wife Lisa, who runs the pit on board, are unfazed by the pressure.
2, 1, driving. Slow it up, Marty.
Transfusion have held on to take victory in the last race of day one, pushing themselves to a well-deserved 5th place overall. A perfect start for the Australian champions. Plenty to smile about, but 3 races from 10 means there's a long way to go yet. Consistency is everything in a World Championship. With no discards, it means every place, every point counts, and no one is getting carried away yet.
We're sitting in 12th spot, so that's day one, and it's a lot better than Miami. So we hope better races tomorrow and the next day.
Lying midway between Europe and Africa, Sardinia offers some of the best sailing conditions in the world. The town of Porto Cervo, centerpiece of the island's emerald coast, or Costa Smeralda, is to sailing what Augusta is to golf. Beautiful bays, sparkling waters and reliable breezes have helped this town grow from a small fishing village into a mecca for racing. The yacht club Costa Smeralda is at the heart of this sailing tradition. Founded in 1967 by the Aga Khan, it hosts more prestigious world championships than almost anywhere else in the world. And the magic of Porto Cervo continues to attract all those who share a passion for the sport. Four times Rolex Sydney Hobart champion Bob Oatley is in town.
This is a bit of fun.
Oatley has had a place in Porto Cervo for many years and is visiting his longtime friend Lang Walker.
Hi, Bob. Good morning.
Good morning, Bob.
How are you? Morning.
Like Oatley, Walker is one of Australia's most successful entrepreneurs and owner and helmsman of Kokomo.
Good luck for today. Yeah. You've got a lovely breeze.
We'd like to achieve a top 5 position. That's the goal. It's always a tough fleet. Coming to the Worlds, everyone seems to ramp up for it. But we've been doing pretty well, and in Australia and also our other circuits. So we're going to try and set our targets pretty high.
Day 2 of the Rolex Farr 40 Worlds, and Transfusion are hoping to continue their success from yesterday.
Yeah, we're clear. Be quiet, guys.
Holding a narrow advantage at the top of the leaderboard is Barking Mad from the USA, with Terry Hutchinson calling tactics.
They're higher and faster at the moment. We have to do that to get our speed on.
Leading the vanguard of the Aussie invasion, Estate Master, just outside the fleet's top 10. And Kokomo, the most experienced of the challengers from down under. 2 times world champion Barking Mad is first to the windward mark. They've never won a title outside North America. Could this be their year?
Start coming up. Tapping over here, guys.
25 boats picking their lanes and entry points in what, for the next 2 minutes, will be the busiest shipping channel in the Mediterranean.
That big horse, guys! Not too low. No!
Transfusion are in the thick of the action, and Kokomo looking to get back into overall contention.
Nice thing!
Heading downwind, Vasco Vascotto on Nerone tries to eat into the advantage of his arch-rival Terry Hutchinson on Barking Mad. After a disastrous day one, the Italians are back, pushing for the lead. Barking Mad hold on for the win and are already looking ominously in control. Transfusion are not able to repeat their stellar performance of day one and slipped 1 place down the leaderboard. The pre-race rivalry between Barking Mad's Terry Hutchinson from the USA and Italy's Vasco Vascotto is living up to the hype as Nerone move from 6th into 3rd place. After 2 days and 5 races, the Rolex Farr 40 World Championships enter the halfway stage. 2 firsts have propelled Barking Mad to the slenderest of leads. Defending champions Vincenzo Onorato's Mascalzone Latino are 4th, and Australia's Transfusion and Kokomo keep inside the top 10. The racing may be over for the day, but the work continues off the water for Transfusion. Like any professional sports team, video analysis is a key part of working out what the team is doing and what the opposition may be doing better. But team coach Dog knows at this level it's as much about mental toughness as it is about sailing ability.
As the rate of improvement as a team, it continues. Everyone gets better through the regatta, and that's your challenge, is to do that. You're as ready as you're ever going to be, definitely.
Let's get out of the danger zone.
At a Farr 40 start line, there is only 1 place to be to get the perfect start.
Coming up. Yeah, hold, no, hold.
And 24 other boats want it as badly as you.
105. Really got to work hard on developing your lane, but you've got the good fellas there underneath you. It's a bit of an issue.
Well, we're going.
More than anything else, a good start can win a race.
The arm is a bit too close underneath you for my liking. TWT above you has a pretty good lane. Not great.
And a bad one can cost you everything.
Yeah, it's tough. 10. Got to go.
Go.
And the Danes have got a real roll on over the top. Barking Mad, fantastic start.
Bow 7-5, bow 8-6, bow 1-6.
Individual recall.
That's off. Okay, we're tacking over and bearing away. Tacking.
Oh, it's you guys, is it? You're tacking.
Once again, bow 7-5, bow 8-6.
Bearing away. Got this right here. What? Oh, come away.
So all your group, your whole group is over. Going back.
Bow 1-6 clear. Bow 2
Disappointing. That's almost World Championship over.
A disastrous false start for Australia's Transfusion means the resulting penalty leaves them at the back of the fleet. Mascalzone Latino are first to the top mark as the fleet compresses behind them. Vasco Vascotto on Nerone is working his way through the pack as they push their Italian compatriots for the lead. But for Transfusion at the back, it's a very different story. They see their chances of keeping their top 10 position disappear.
If you come off the line in that bad a shape, you're in the last 2 or 3 boats in the race. And the 2 options are that you just chip away at the tail of the fleet and try and pick up little bits here and there, or you can take a little trip to the casino like my guys have and hope your number comes up and you get a big chunk back and get back into the race.
A stunning performance on the downwind leg sees Nerone, number 20, overhaul Mascalzone Latino and move into second in the overall championship. But for the Australian teams, it's a dreadful day. All three are stuck in the lower order, and dreams of making the top 10 looking as far away as ever now.
So the Aussies finishing 20, 21 and 25. Not a good day to be an Aussie.
Well, we're in 11th place, but it's only 3 points out of 8th spot. There's a clear gap for first and second. That's Barking Mad and Joe Fly.
Estate Master have come to Europe with a target to be one of the 10 best Farr 40s in the world. And with 24 hours to go, they still haven't cracked it.
We're like right in the middle of this tight zone, and if we have a good day tomorrow, we could launch ourselves into maybe the top 7 or something like that. If we have a bad day, we'd be on the edge of 15. So
it's just keep the pressure up. We want to be strong at the last races as well as the first, because a lot of people are starting to fade now. They start to get tired, or they've been a little disappointed where they are, or some of them might have bigger egos than they should have, and it could get popped.
Vasco Vascotto on Nerone has moved into second place overall, applying the pressure on his nemesis Terry Hutchinson on Barking Mad, fanning the flames of one of sailing's greatest rivalries.
Vasco Vascotto is Latin. He's excitable. He's passionate. He's a great sailor. And Terry is very intense as well. He's got a little bit different demeanor than Vasco.
Nerone is coming. Don't even worry. Don't look.
But he's very intense.
Protect! Protect!
He and Terry Hutchinson have been sailing against each other for probably 20 years.
When we were 17 years old, I threw him out of a race at the Youth World Championships in 1986. It inevitably cost him the regatta. But I saw him probably 10 years later for the first time, and he said, "I hate you very much, Terry Hutchinson, for a very long time."
We not love each other too much, but I recognize that Terry is one of the best sailors in the world, and he's doing a great job, especially in the last three years. He's doing something fantastic.
He's a great competitor, and their team's great, and so we hold them in very high regard and have the utmost respect for them.
Barking Mad have the lead of the championships by 6 points from Nerone. 6 years ago, in this same place, Barking Mad imploded on the last day to gift the Italians the title. Could history repeat itself? The final morning. For some, it's business as usual, used to the pressure of the big occasion. And for others, the next 3 hours are the climax of a life's dream and years of work and sacrifice.
To break the top 10 would be achieving our goal, and what we had trained for up at 6 o'clock on the water, training in Sydney 3 days a week, putting a lot into it, a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work would have paid off, and I think we'd all be very, very happy.
On board Transfusion, the team are trying to lift their spirits for the final effort. A great first day, followed by some indifferent results, has left them battling to stay in the top 10. Has the pressure got to them?
We've had a couple of disastrous races, and it's pushed us back in the fleet. But it's just amazing how all the other guys have, even the good guys have had some pretty terrible races. So we're up there in good company. Very, very proud of what the boys have done, and they've sailed really well. The boat's been well prepared. I'm coming back for more.
The intensity of a World Championship goes to another level on the last day. For some, it's time to throw caution to the wind, as they risk everything for victory. While for others, it's a matter of keeping it together in the pressure cooker of a Farr 40 racecourse. Number 12, Kokomo, are keeping in close contention with number 20, Nerone. While Transfusion try to make up for the mistimed heroics of the previous day and follow Barking Mad's lead.
Start coming away. Stop, big dip, big dip.
Barking Mad head to the top mark in the last race of the championship with only a 1-point lead on Nerone. They've already put boats between them and the Italians, but they're feeling the heat from Helmut Jahn's Flash Gordon, number 14, who are chasing down their American rivals, number 15.
Nice job, guys.
Barking Mad's owner-driver Jim Richardson is desperate to stay out of trouble and avoid any collisions. Flash Gordon round the spreader mark in third as Barking Mad with the blue deck prepare to hoist. Can Jim Richardson's team keep their cool under this intense pressure?
I'm coming for you, Jim!
Nerone number 20 is sailing close, just waiting to capitalize on the slightest mistake.
Okay, we want to stay a bit hot out of this set. Yep. Not too close.
Transfusion are mid-fleet, but doing enough to keep their place and avoid trouble. Barking Mad are streaking away downwind. As Kokomo round the top mark, the Australians see their dreams of a top 5 end to their worlds disintegrate.
Hoisting! Hoist!
Estate Master are sailing the race of their lives. With an afterguard of world champions, they've put their boat in the fast lane.
That's the love. New breeze there. Let's keep it smoky.
Barking Mad, number 15, hold their nerve to the end, despite the pressure to make it world title number 3. And Jim Richardson joins Vincenzo Onorato as the only owners to complete a hat-trick of wins in the class.
Going into the last race, we were a point clear of Nerone, and it was, it was all to play for. And the team responded brilliantly. I saw Vasco this morning, and we chatted for a couple minutes because it was the right time. Nobody was around. It was a nice time to talk. And sailing against somebody like Vasco makes you a better sailor. And we have the highest respect for that team. Man, there's nothing better than this. That's for sure.
The Australian adventure is over, an 8th place overall for Transfusion, and for Estate Master, a stunning final day's performance makes their dream of a top 10 finish a reality.
Oh, fantastic. 9th position, mission accomplished. So we're very pleased, and it was great sailing. We've learned a lot, and to finish the last day with consistent results, top 10, and in high breeze as well, and surfing down the waves was fantastic. I just want to do more now.
It's a long way, 16,000 kilometres. It's a long way to come over and have a yacht race, but there's a lot of guys that have travelled with us, and they've enjoyed it, and the Aussies are going to keep coming, I think.
An elated Jim Richardson becomes the 2009 Rolex Farr 40 World Champion as Barking Mad take title number 3. Everyone measures victory in different ways. For some, it's to hold the winner's trophy, while for others, it's simply the opportunity to compete with the best. For it is in the effort, not the attainment, that true satisfaction lies. Next time, we're in Brazil for all the action from Rolex Ilhabela Sailing Week, one of South America's biggest yachting events, with over 200 boats competing this year.